Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a speed reviews for you guys. We haven't done a speed reviews in a very long time. So let's dive straight in and talk about all of the products that I've been testing out lately. Okay, so starting with a couple of hair care products. You guys know I love the brand Kerotin. I did do a sponsored video with them on my channel several months ago. However, this video is not sponsored. Speed reviews are never sponsored. I'm just talking about products that I like that I've been trying, or that I don't like that I've been trying. In this case, love it. So this is the Kerotin Hyaluronic Acid Detangling Spray. They did send this to me to try out and I've really been loving it. So I require a detangling spray or a leave-in conditioner or something after I get out of the shower to brush my hair out. I have this whole like sleek bun going on today, but if you're not new here, you know I have a lot of hair. It's long. I have a very frizzy hair texture, so it tangles super easily. It's really hard to brush through. I get a lot of breakage on the top from, like, you know, brushing through the breakage, although I am as gentle as I can be. This is very effective at detangling the hair. So normally I just use like a leave-in conditioner, but this one is specifically for detangling. It hydrates, detangles, and protects from heat damage. And I've really been loving this. So I get out of the shower, I, towel dry my hair, I give it a few minutes, I spray this through, and then I go in with my other, actually still Kerotin products. I'm still using the styling products from them as well. And the brush just glides through my hair. It just glides through. It's incredible. So I've really been loving this. I was actually using a different one when they sent this to me, and I was like, oh, I'll just switch to this for a little while so that I can test it out, and then I'll switch back to the other, and I haven't switched back to the other. This is really good. If you're looking for a good detangling spray, I highly recommend this one. Kerotin is a really nice cruelty-free brand. They're free from a lot of those added ingredients that we typically are trying to stay away from. They've got no sulfates, no sodium chloride, and no silicones in this. So if you are like a curly girl that tries to stay away from silicone products, this is definitely something that you could be using. And the other product that they sent to me that I've been really liking, so I try to keep the packaging so that I can read the claims, is this Flyaway hair treatment. So I use this in my hair today. I've been using this periodically when I wear my hair up. Basically, I've been using this because I just get so much frizz like in my part and like along my hairline, and this has been a great product for that. So this says it sculpts and thickens baby hairs to grow fuller and stronger. So you can apply this to like the little flyaways. It's literally like a mascara wand. It looks like this, just like a mascara wand, super easy to use, super user friendly. And it says, beyond a hair finishing stick, this tack and residue-free serum provides special care required for baby hairs to grow healthier, stronger, and fuller. There's like, I'm not gonna read you the whole box, but it says what to expect. Expect reduced frizz instantly. After 3 months, stronger baby hairs with minimal breakage will be visible. So I'm very excited to see. I haven't been using this for 3 months yet. It's probably been more like a month, maybe only like 3 weeks. But I'm excited to see long term if this helps to reduce the amount of those little baby hairs that I have. But in the meantime, this is really helping to just kind of lay them down. I've tried products in the past that are like for that purpose, but I've always felt them to be like really crunchy in the hair or waxy, or they leave like a weird residue. This is none of that. It almost feels like you're putting water on a mascara wand into your hair, but it just lays those little hairs down and they stay down. So really loving that. If you're somebody who has that same problem, especially if you wear your hair up a lot, something like this might be worth a try. I do always have the products linked in the description box down below. I just have one skincare product to talk about this time because I have been testing a whole range of products for a specific video that'll be coming soon. But I've been testing this Volition Beauty Turmeric Brightening Polish, and this is a scrub. So I got this in a BoxyCharm, looks like this, nice big bottle. It does say face and body on the bottle. However, I personally find this to be too aggressive for me to use on my face. I do prefer a chemical exfoliant for my face. It just seems to work better. I'm very like touch sensitive. I get like red really easily from like aggressive or abrasive textures. Like my husband's growing his winter beard, and every time he kisses me, I get like hives on my face. So it's generally just not the way to go for me to use like a scrubby scrub, but I do love something like that for the body. I get really dry skin on my legs in particular, and I have been noticing more dry skin on my chest. So even though this is a more sensitive part of the body, I will do a gentle scrub on that area, and I've been really liking this for that because it's not as aggressive as your typical body scrub. It's kind of that perfect in between for me, where I think this is just perfect for the body, especially if you have a more sensitive skin type. So the big claim to fame with this product here is the turmeric that's in there, and that's supposed to be like brightening and promote overall skin radiance. I haven't probably used this enough to be able to speak to that, and I don't know if you'd notice it as much on the body as you would on the face, but I do think this is a really nice one. If you got it in a BoxyCharm and you're worried about using it on your face, I recommend giving it a try on the body. It's really, really nice for that. And then we have a bunch of makeup to talk about, and the first one that I want to talk about, I don't know if I have reviewed this powder on my channel. I have had it for quite a while, so it's possible that I have, but this is like a rediscovered favorite for me. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I have the shade Light. I think it comes in a few different shades, but this is what the light looks like. This is such a finely milled, super soft powder. It feels like nothing when I'm doing this. So this is the light shade. It's a little bit lighter than like the skin on my body, but matches my face just fine. It's definitely like pretty translucent, but it feels so smooth between my fingers. The thing that I like about this is if you're somebody who has a drier skin type and you still want to be able to set your makeup down with a powder, but you don't want to lose the radiance of your foundation, like if you're using a more luminous foundation, this is the perfect powder for that. I think because it's called Halo Glow Setting Powder, some people might think that there's like shimmer particles in this. There aren't. It's such a finely milled, super soft powder that it doesn't make your skin look chalky and dry and matte and flat. It kind of allows your natural oils or the luminosity of your foundation to kind of shine through the powder, but it works really well as a setting powder. And I have a more combo skin type, leaning more on the oily side, and I do find that this sets my makeup down just fine. Today I have on a mixture between the Trestique foundation stick and the Anastasia Luminous foundation. So you can see I also have a glowy primer on. We're going to talk about that in a second, but you can see that my skin still has a glow to it, and I powdered my whole face with this. So if you're somebody who's had a hard time finding a good powder that doesn't suck the life out of your skin, I highly recommend giving this one a try. I know a lot of people have already heard about this and have talked about this, but if you're one of the people that hasn't heard of it, it's a good one. It's a really good one. I've been really enjoying it. If you have it in your collection and you're like me, you haven't used it in a while, maybe bust it out. Okay, let's talk about a couple of products that kind of annoyed me. Okay. So this is the Bamboo Bronzer from Ciate London. If you're wondering, what I do is I keep the boxes, I throw the boxes into like an empty box, and then I put the products into my collection, and then when it's time for speed reviews, I look through all of the boxes to see what I've been testing. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's my system. And then I have to transport them from home to the salon and back home, so they always travel better in a box. But this is the Ciate London Bamboo Bronzer. Okay, I used this bronzer twice. I kept it in the top drawer of my vanity where I keep all the products that I've been testing. I used it twice and it broke. I didn't drop it. It didn't get jostled around. It literally just like broke inside of the pan. So that was annoying because I had used it twice. So then I repressed it. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's cracking. Even the repressed is cracking. I find that very strange. Does anyone else have this bronzer? Did anyone else have a problem with this, like just not being like, I don't know what happened. Is that like a manufacturing problem? Is that like a problem with this product across the board? I just don't know. So I have repressed it. It seems to have survived the travel into the salon today. In terms of the bronzer itself, you know, I think the color is just not great for me. It's a little too, like, it's so interesting because the swatch is so light. The swatch is so light. But when I wear this, it is very warm on my skin tone and much too dark. It's so interesting how when I swatch it on my hand, though my hands are definitely darker than my face, when I swatch this on my hand, you think that's like a nice, like more neutral leaning bronzer. When I put that on my face, it goes on very dark, very warm. It looks very stark against my skin tone. So I just think this is not a favorite for me. I think the formula is really nice. I think it's annoying that it broke after 2 uses. I don't know if this comes in other colors. It just says bamboo bronzer and I don't see any other like indication of color on here. So I'm thinking it only comes in the 1 shade, but if it came like a shade or 2 lighter and maybe like a hair more neutral or cool toned, I think this would work better for me, but it's just not gonna be like my perfect bronzer. So I had gotten that in a BoxyCharm, and then separately I had gotten this little palette in a Babe box. So this is the Bella Pierre Ultra Glow Highlighting and Bronzer Palette. And I mentioned in that video that this highlighter had broken, so I repressed it as well. Now, when I opened this up this morning, I have this palette on today as my bronzer and my highlight. When I opened this up today, the little mirror came out. Now the little mirror seems to be staying in, but overall, like the packaging, this is feeling like a little chintzy to me. However, the product itself is really nice. The bronzer is fine. I think it's like a nice color for me. It's not too dark. It's easy to blend. You really have to kind of go in over and over though. Like you really have to build that one up, which could be a pro or con depending on what you like in terms of a bronzer. I do like something that's a little bit more buildable, but this is maybe a little bit more so than what I'm used to. However, the highlighters in here are stunning. I actually have this second one on today as my highlight. This one goes on quite icy, even on my fair skin. So I tried this one today and I think I like it just as well, if not better. And I've been kind of layering this darker one, like tapping back and forth between these two to get like a glowy bronzer. And I really like the way that that looks. But the powders themselves are really smooth. They go on really nicely. They give a nice highlight without being like, you know, beaming. So those are them right there. This is the lightest color. This is the color I have on today. So for this one, in terms of like product, like formula and color and application, I do really like this one. I think the packaging is really chintzy. It feels like it's gonna fall apart. Like it feels like this little compact is gonna fall apart. The mirror is definitely gonna let go. It was like unglued when I opened it this morning. So pros and cons either way, but if I had to choose between these two, I'd still go with the Bella Pierre one, just because I think the color is better. And then I had also gotten from MCO Beauty this Mermaid Glow highlighter. I got this in a Babe box. This is like a really fun product. So it looks like this. It's one of those like striped highlighters. Now, when you swirl your finger in here, you basically get this like beautiful, like teal mermaidy kind of highlight. It's really stunning. I have done a eye look with that and a look where I used it on my eyes and as my highlight. I'll try to put that, if I still can find the photo, I'll put that on the screen here. But I thought it turned out really, really pretty. So that works really well as an eyeshadow or a highlight. On the skin, like I was a little bit concerned when I put it on my cheeks as a highlight that it was gonna look crazy, but when you actually apply it on the skin with like a fluffier brush, you get a hint of that like teal, like mermaid kind of tone, but it doesn't look like you're wearing a teal highlight. It just gives you like a nice glow, and in certain lighting you could kind of see that it's that teal color. So this is really fun. Not something I would have ever bought for myself, but after trying it, it does add something to my collection that I didn't already own. Now let's talk about what I'm using for a primer today. So this is the Jecca Blac Glow Drops, and this is a highlighting primer for the face. This is vegan and cruelty free, and I have the shade Rose Pearl. This I got in a BoxyCharm. And this is a very similar product to like the Hollywood Flawless Filter or the new e.l.f. Halo highlighting, whatever. It's one of those to where it's like a glowy primer. You can use it as a primer. I'm sure you could tap it on and use it as like a more liquid highlight. I haven't used it that way. I generally don't like those types of products, but look at how gorgeous that color is. So I was a little bit nervous with a product like this because, as I mentioned, I have a more like combo oily skin type, and this doesn't make me oily. It's an interesting formula because a lot of those types of products I find have a very kind of oily, slippy texture to them. This one really doesn't. It feels very similar to those like lotion kind of primers that I like, but it dries down. So this is pretty dry at this point. It doesn't really stay like wet or slick or greasy or anything like that. It pretty much dries down, and then whatever foundation you put over top, you just get a little bit of glow through it. So if you're a person who has an oilier skin type and you've stayed away from products like this in the past, this one might be a nice option. Look at the color of that. This is also really beautiful like on the shoulders, on the chest, and because it dries down, you don't have to feel like your clothes are sticking to like a body makeup or something like that. So really beautiful product. Love that one so much. And lastly, for cheek products, this is the Wander Beauty On The Glow Blush and Illuminator. I love this. Again, I got this in a BoxyCharm. This is what I have on for blush today. So I have the shade Bare in the blush. Whoops. Turn up the wrong, I was like turning up the highlighter and I had the blush open. I didn't put this one on as the highlight today because I wanted to use the Bella Pierre one, but I have used the highlight and I like it as well. And it's the shade Nude Glow. What a weird place to swatch those. So those are them. So I have the blush on today and I have used the highlighter several times, and I think this is a really beautiful formula. The blush is one of those where you can apply it with a brush. It doesn't pick up your foundation underneath. You can just kind of tap it on with a brush. You can tap it on with your finger. It stays on really well. I just set it down really lightly with the e.l.f. Halo Glow because I am doing like a full work day today. That's one thing that I always do with cream products. If I'm gonna wear them like all day at work, I just set them down with my setting spray. With my setting powder, and they last just fine, or this one does anyway. Some don't, but this is one of the better like stick type products like this that I have tried personally. I do still like to kind of take my brush and do it this way. I'm just not a fan of like drawing things directly onto my face. I just find it disturbs the makeup underneath regardless of how good this product is, but I really love this one. I would get this in another color. I like it that much. I can see traveling with this because you've got your blush and your highlighter all in one. Really, really beautiful product. Love it, love it, love it. Now let's talk about some eye products. So let's talk about what I have on my eyes today. So this is a dual-ended eye product from The Beauty Crop. I have the shades Cinnamon and Fudge. So this is one, again, that I got in a BoxyCharm, and it's got like a matte liquid shadow on one side and it's got a metallic liquid shadow on the other. So this is all I have on for eyeshadow today. I believe that you can buy this brand at Target, according to one of you guys that let me know that. So this is the matte shade Cinnamon right there, and this is the metallic shade called Fudge. So I just applied the matte color all over my lid, and then I took a brush and blended it up into my crease, and then I went right over top with this shade Fudge, painted a little bit onto my eyelid, and then tapped it in with my finger. Boom, done. Great. Super easy. Easy to blend. I find they stay on really well. I haven't had any problems with it like creasing up into the crease at all. I do still apply an eye primer underneath of this, so I use my usual eye primer underneath, but normally I set that down with like a powder, and I don't do that when I'm using this, and that seems to work really well. It stays on really well. It's easy to blend. I haven't had any problems. So if you've seen these at Target, I think they're worth a look. I'd love to have this in another shade variation, because again, this would be like, things like these are great to travel with because you've got like double-sided dual purpose products and they don't take up a lot of room because they're sticks, right? So stuff like that I think is really useful for travel. I also tested out the Girlactik metallic eye sparkle and I have the shade Glam, and it's more of a bronze, whereas the one that I have on is more of a copper. Now this one was a little bit interesting because I think I had higher hopes for it. You can see how beautiful and I have like now a mess of swatches, but you can see how beautiful and reflective it is there. But normally with a product like that, I like to apply a little bit to my hand and then pick it up on my finger and then tap it on my lid like that. And I don't find it translates well that way. I find it more sticks to my hand and it's like all the good stuff is on my hand and all the like not so good stuff is on my finger. So I find with this one, what works best is to paint it right on my eyelid and then tap it around from there, or even use a brush to move it around. So it's a little bit fussier than the like Stila Shimmer and Glows, which are more a metallic formula. So this is more metallic than it is sparkly. And I think that's where it's just a little bit more finicky to use, but I think it's fine. I just think if I was gonna buy a product like this, like I think this one is easier to work with. And I think the Stila ones are easier to work with, but it's not like it's terrible. It's nicer than a lot of other liquid shadows I've gotten in subscription boxes. It just applies a little differently than I expected. And then last but not least, I have two mascaras that I want to talk about today. So the first one is the Item Beauty Lash Snack Lengthening Mascara. I've been trying this one out for quite a while, actually. Again, I got this one in a BoxyCharm. Is everything that I got today from subscription boxes? Everything except for the Kerotin products and the e.l.f. Halo Glow are things that I got in subscription boxes. So this is one of those where it has this tiny little wand. It has like the world's tiniest little baby wand. Now, this is one of the more affordable mascaras at Sephora. So you can pick this one up there. I like this. I like this more than I thought that I would. When I first opened it, I was using it as just my main mascara. I used it for a few weeks that way, and I liked it fine. And I do think it gives really nice length, which is what it says that it does. And I do think it gives really nice separation because you've got that tiny little wand, but it's got some like decent bristles on it. I don't know if you guys can tell. Like the bristles are decently long for the type of wand that it is. So I think you get good separation of the lashes, but I don't think it gives a ton of volume. So then I got this other mascara in the mail. So what I started doing with this one is using this as like my first step mascara. I do like having two mascaras. I'm okay with it. I know it's extra. I don't care. It's whatever. Usually my first step mascara would be something like the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. I like something that's like really separating and lengthening. So what I like to do with this one is I go in on my top, I curl my lashes, and then I go in with this one first to sort of separate my top lashes. I do my bottom lashes with this because it doesn't transfer. This doesn't transfer on me. Maybe after like an 11-hour workday, yes, everything transfers. I look down all day doing nails, but this one stays on really well for me. And then I go in over top just my top lashes with something else to give that volume. But this works so well to comb the lashes out initially that I think the second mascara works better for having used this one. So if you're looking for a good mascara for bottom lashes, if you're looking for a good mascara for length and separation, I think this is a really nice one if you like a really small wand. A lot of people find the wands on a lot of mascaras are getting like bigger and bigger and bigger, and if you have a smaller eye or you have a harder time putting mascara on, those big fat wands can sometimes be hard to work with. So if you like something a little bit smaller, this one might be worth a look. I really like it a lot. And then I've also been trying this one here from ModelCo, and this is their Lash Contour Curling Mascara. Love the packaging on this one. It's this like really fun, like chrome, like Barbie pink. Love that. The wand looks like this, so much more like cone shaped and bristly, and look how long that one is compared to the other one. And this one has more curl claims. So it says bigger and bolder lashes instantly with the contour curling mascara. Lash lifting technology adds dramatic curl, high gloss finish. I don't notice it to be like glossy, which is fine. I don't want it to be glossy. And it says ultimate high definition look and feel with long lasting smudge free and clump free formula. So I haven't had any issues with this one transferring either, which is like, that is my number one problem with mascaras, is that they smudge and they transfer. So this one I've been using only on the top lashes because I don't want a bunch of volume on my bottom lashes. I look down all day doing nails. I don't need to be like looking at my eyelashes. So I like lots of volume on top, and then on bottom I like just like separation and a little bit of color. This, I think, does a really nice job. You can see what my lashes look like. I think this does a really nice job of volumizing the lashes. I do agree that it's not clumpy. I once in a while have to go in with a clean spoolie and brush through my lashes, maybe just like over here. But I am also using 2 mascaras, you know? I think this does a really nice job of giving volume, separation. The curl seems to be holding really well, more so than probably the last mascara that I was using, which was the Rare Beauty. So really loving this one a lot. I got this one in a Babe box. I don't know where you buy ModelCo, but I will link it in the description box down below, and that'll give me a chance to look into where they actually sell that. But I am really liking that one a lot. I don't know that I like it more than the CoverGirl Exhibitionist, but I would say I like it just as well. So that's saying something, because that's like my holy grail mascara. I haven't had that one in so long. Okay, and that's everything that I have to talk about with you guys today. I know that was a lot, but it's been a while since we've done a speed reviews, and I've been testing out a lot of this makeup for a long time. So let me know in the comments down below if you've tried any of these products. Did you have the same experience, different experiences? I'll have everything linked down below if you want to browse those links. Those are affiliate links, so I do appreciate if you choose to support the channel in that way. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye.